Hello guys! Actually, it's been a while I don't even talk in front of my camera again, ever again. So, this is the right time I guess. Let's talk about something that I found in another social media. Actually, this is really started really randomly when I was just scrolling my usual thing and I saw this research title. A wandering mind is an unhappy mind. And I was like, okay, why does this feel like calling me out? And people in replies were saying things like, this is literally overthinking. And overthinking, it's a silent killer. Overthinking is a silent killer. And that's what made me curious. So I clicked the paper, I read it, and I thought, yeah, I just want to talk about this. I really want to share this with you guys. So before we talk, by the way, my name is Deepa. You can call me Deepa. Yeah, I'm new here. I never been around. Okay, let's start with this. What is this research actually about? Basically, the researcher wanted to know one simple thing. What happened to our happiness when our mind is not focused on what we are doing right now? What happens? Instead of putting people in a lab, they followed real people in real life. People were living normally, like working, walking, eating, resting, and at a random moment they got questioned like, what are you doing right now? And are you thinking about what you're doing or something else? Very simple question, but also very low-key scary because it kind of forces you to pause and rethink where your mind actually is. And no, here's the first big finding. So our mind wander a lot, and almost half of the time, like around 50%. That means even when our body is here, our mind is often somewhere else. Thinking about the past, thinking about the future, replaying conversation, imagining scenarios that haven't even happened. That's really overthinker activity, right? They just thinking, and thinking. And this is what the research called mind wandering. And yes, overthinking is part of this, but it's bigger than just overthinking. It also includes daydreaming, neutral thoughts, even pleasant imagination. So then they compare happiness, and this is the core point of the whole paper. People were less happy when their mind were wandering than when they were not. When they were not. You got what I mean? People were less happy when their mind were wandering than when they were not. People were less happy when their mind were wandering than when they were not. And this wasn't only when people were thinking negative things. It was true in general, even when people's mind wandered to pleasant or neutral thoughts, their happiness was still lower than when they were really and when they were fully present. So yeah, apparently even nice daydreaming can still make us less happy than just being here. No, let's talk about the graphic. The one with all the small circle. This part looked confusing at first, but actually really simple once you get it. So each small circle represent an activity like working, commuting, walking, eating, listening to music, talking, relaxing. Yeah, basically everyday life. The size of the circle shows how often that activity happens. Bigger circle means people do it more often. Yeah, no. For each activity, there are different mental states. A pleasant mind wandering, neutral mind wandering, pleasant mind wandering, and not mind wandering. Not mind wandering just means your mind is actually present, you're focused on what you're doing. Yeah, that's not mind wandering. So, some people think this graph means people are only present when they are working. But that's not true. Working is just one example. What the graph really shows is this. In almost every activity, people are happiest when they are not mind wandering. People are happiest when they are not mind wandering. Even during a work, walking, listening to music, or even doing a relaxing and doing nothing special. So the activity itself isn't the main thing. What matters more is whether your mind is there or not. So the activity itself isn't the main thing. What matters more is whether your mind is there or not. So this is where the overthinking part really come in. Because overthinking is basically when your minds keep living the present moment, usually to worry, to predict or replay things. And when we live like that, always 10 steps ahead, always inside our head, we pay an emotional cost. Not because our life is bad, but because we are not really in it. That's really worrying. So, if I have to sum up, the point isn't stop thinking or don't plan your future. The point is don't live your life only inside your head. This research shows when we keep overthinking, imagining, or jumping too far ahead, our happiness is dropped, even if what we are imagining is nice. So maybe the takeaway is simple. Do whatever you're doing while you're doing it. Focus on the process you are in the right way instead of constantly escaping to the future or the past. You can still have dreams. You can still plan. You just don't disappear from the moment you are already living. And yeah, that's the point. Just don't disappear from the moment you are already living. And yeah, that's the point. So I'm gonna stop here. Remember, this isn't a advice. I just wanna share something a little bit and thinking through out loud. If this resonates with you or makes you slow down for a second, I'm really glad. And thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye bye.